It's really interesting. Something I've noticed while I travel is people ask me what I do for a living. I tell them I'm a photographer, and then they always question, they say, "Oh, you can actually make a living doing that?" Another one I hear all the time is, "Oh my goodness, your camera takes such good photos. I wish I had that camera." The truth is, that idea is completely wrong, and they're holding a lot of people back. Let's clear it up. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 most common myths about photography. From gear obsession to pricing mistakes, I want to tell you what actually works in real-world situations if you want to build a career or if you just want to get better fast. Myth number 1. Photographers can't make a good living. This one's really interesting because I actually had no idea that being a photographer you could actually make a decent living, and it turns out you absolutely can. It's a little bit like a realtor. You know, I've worked with realtors, and there's gonna be some realtors in the same office that make, like $20,000 a year. And then there's gonna be realtors that make millions each year. And so the sky is kind of the limit when you're a photographer. Photography is running a business. And a lot of times you'll see people that are extremely good in their art, they're so creative, but then they're not very good with bookkeeping or payroll or organizing taxes. And so it's really rare to have somebody who is good at both. You just have to make sure that you try to be good at both, because that's what it really takes to grow a photography business. But the sky is truly the limit. I live in the United States, and I'm so thankful to live here because there's so much opportunity, and the harder I work, the more that I get rewarded for that work. But it can't just be hard work. You have to be strategic in your efficiency and how you run a business. A huge part of it is just showing up and on time. Myth number 2. The camera takes the photo, not the photographer. Man, it's really frustrating when somebody comes up to me and says, "Oh my goodness, I love this photo. Your camera is so nice. I wish I had that camera so I could take those exact same photos." And to an extent, the camera is important. Honestly, the lens is actually a little bit more important than the camera. A camera is a tool, and it doesn't matter if you're Sony, Nikon, Canon, Fuji, whatever it is. As long as you know how to use your tool very well, that is very key in photography. I believe that there are certain people that have an eye for really good composition. The settings and all of that, the mechanical things that are happening inside the camera, I believe that that can be taught. It's a little bit harder to teach composition and what looks good. And I know there's a bunch of rules, like the rules of third and all of this different stuff, but honestly, just being able to know this exact frame is going to look good in a photo, that's something that's really, really important, because you can give somebody who is very skilled an iPhone or the cheapest camera, Canon Rebel, which I usually recommended, like either a Canon Rebel or a Nikon D5300. Those are awesome cameras for starting out, but you can give somebody the cheapest camera, and if they have a really good eye, they're gonna make things look awesome. So it really doesn't have to do with the camera as much. They've shot huge movies on iPhones, and Apple's been doing these commercials where they shoot just strictly on iPhone. So really, it comes down to your eye and composition and just knowing how to use your tool. Myth number 3. You need to say yes to every single job to build your portfolio. Now, starting out, I actually believe that you should absolutely say yes to every single job to build your portfolio. But at one point, if you're to the point where you're very busy, you've built a business and you want to simplify your life a little bit more, I can't tell you how good it has been to actually fire a few clients that I've had in the past. This is very rare, and I've only done this like not even a handful of times. But when I have, it's like, oh my goodness, it's such a breath of fresh air, because just dealing with those types of people can be a really big headache. And so you can say no to certain things and be completely fine with it. And I've noticed that the clients that I really do like to work with, I just make sure that I over deliver, and I really make sure that we are all having a really good experience because I want to. And I'll look in my calendar and say, oh, I have a shoot with this person, or oh, I have a shoot with this person. And depending on the feeling I get when I realize I have a shoot with that person, it's really night and day when I have an awesome client that I just absolutely love working with, or somebody that I just rather not work with at all. And so it's been a really big blessing to be able to say, you know what, I don't really want to work with you. So be particular not when you're starting out, but when you've built something up, it's totally good to be particular. And honestly, it's easier that way. Myth number 4. You need formal training or a college degree to become a professional. So I will 100% admit, I am a YouTube University graduate. I went to high school. I got my high school diploma barely. I actually really didn't like school very much. And so I'm a great example of you don't need very much at all to become a photographer. Your ability actually speaks more than your degree, especially nowadays. You know, it's awesome to go to college and to get a degree and to get educated, but I really believe that you can do a lot of this kind of stuff on YouTube and through your own research on Google, and honestly, practice. Just practice, practice, practice. Go out there, shoot everything you can, figure out what you love to shoot, and really just let that passion lead you into your business. At least that's what I did, and it worked out just fine. I'm 12 years in and doing great. I really just still enjoy what I do, and I'm so thankful to be able to do what I love for a living without a photography degree or without special education in this. So yeah, good old YouTube. And I know everyone learns differently, so like sometimes there's workshops and different avenues that you can take with that, but you don't necessarily need a degree for that. And number 5, you need the latest and greatest gear to be a great photographer. So this kind of aligns with some of the other myths that I was talking about, but you really don't. I actually, one of my cameras is a Nikon D750, and I love that thing. I know mirrorless is the future, and like so many people are switching to mirrorless this, mirrorless that. To me, I'm not a huge fan of it because I don't really like how small the battery life is. You're constantly having to switch batteries. I know it's a little bit lighter weight, and like the autofocus, the viewfinder is all digital, and it's really cool. In fact, I'm actually shooting on a mirrorless camera right now, and I love it for video, but for photo, I just don't think it's quite there yet to where I just want to jump ship quite yet. And so I stick with something that's like a little bit older but very reliable. I shoot that thing all the time, and I love the colors it produces. I love the dynamic range, and the overall sensor and camera is just solid. It's so reliable too, and the battery life just lasts forever. So that's a huge plus. Now, a caveat to this is there are certain things that I will try to get the latest and greatest gear. One thing is drones. A lot of times when DJI comes out with a new drone, it's a really good upgrade, and usually they're improving the camera, the battery life, all these different things, and it's a significant upgrade. For instance, my latest drone, the Mavic 3 Pro, it actually has 3 lenses on there, and it's awesome because there's a wide lens, there's a medium lens, and then there's a telephoto lens. So depending on what project I'm working on, I'll actually switch between the lenses, and that's a huge advantage versus a drone with just one lens. And so you can get these really nice parallax moves with the 3x and the 7x on the Mavic 3 Pro, and I really do enjoy that. And so there are certain things where I'm like, oh, I do want the latest and greatest, but not necessarily everything. And so much of it has to do with your knowledge, your eye, and how you see beauty through the world. So I don't believe it has to do with your gear as much as how you use the gear you have. So whether you want to go pro or just get behind the lens, don't let these myths stop you. Photography is truly life-changing and powerful, but only if you learn how to see through the noise. If this helped your mindset at all, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I share tips like this to help photographers grow their skill and their income. Let me know in the comments what's the dumbest myth that you've actually heard. And just for a YouTube update, this is going to be video number 4. And holy cow, this is an absolute grind, but I'm just so excited for all this YouTube stuff, and I'm learning so many things. I'm doing the whole Amazon affiliate thing and learning how to do thumbnails, the titling, and what's so important about each YouTube video, and just having time in front of a camera. I literally have not done this very much at all. This is video number 4. I really hope you guys are enjoying these videos, and yeah, I've been so busy lately. We're actually going to be potentially moving, and so I'll have a completely different space, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to have more of a permanent studio setup. Right now, I actually have to like get out of light, switch some chairs around, and do a bunch of things for it to make it look like this. But with us moving, we're actually gonna have a dedicated office for YouTube and stuff. And eventually, I do wanna share a little bit more about my life and just all the different things going on. And I'm so excited to be here. Thank you guys. I appreciate you being here. And my name is Isaac Gauchi. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm sure YouTube is going to recommend a video for you to watch right here, or there. I don't know. I just started doing this with no idea where it's gonna be. So see you later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.